All right, let's mess around with some ink. We'll see how big of a mess we can make today. I have these adorable little vials from, I don't know, some store, Jet Pen maybe. And I made this little cutesy block in about 5 minutes in my wood shop. No big deal. It's not pretty, but it's effective. So what we're going to do today is see what happens when we mix Wordsworth and Black Racing Green with Kon-Peki. We're going to aim for approximately 2 milliliters of ink. We're going to sample it. And maybe at the end there'll be pizza. Let's see what kind of a mess we can make. We're going to start with, let's start with the blue. Normally this blue is very vibrant, at least when you first lay it down. I'm extracting it from the bottle using this blunt syringe. It's not a medical device. I'm not injecting ink into anyone with this. I think it's specifically designed for ink. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is that it works. So I'm going to try to extract approximately 1 milliliter from this bottle. The little vial has some graduation on it. It has graduation. It went to college. Let's see. That should be about 1 milliliter. I'll wait for this to settle a bit. Yep, approximately 1 milliliter. Maybe a bit shy. We'll add another squirt. We'll seal this up. And then because I don't want to introduce the Kon-Peki into the racing green, I'm going to use a second syringe. Look at how vibrant that is when it's wet. At least when it's wet. Is that coming through on camera? Not really. My lighting sucks. Oh well, you can take my word for it. Or not. I don't care. Racing green. Yoink. I got a good amount. I'm going to start with a single drop. Drop is a technical term, right? Plop. All right, let's see what this does. We will take our little cap and seal it up, and we will shake vigorously. Nothing. All right, let's add more. Whole bunch more. Still not really looking like much of a change. I'm going to empty this whole thing in there. Oh boy. So right now the ratio is approximately 2 to 1. 2 parts Kon-Peki, 1 part racing green. I'm hoping this just doesn't go brown. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that. I don't currently own any brown ink, so some brown ink would be welcome. Wow, that Kon-Peki still looks like Kon-Peki. Does it? Maybe it looks like Kon-Peki with... oh, lightened a bit. I'm going to add a whole bunch more of the racing green. How much? I don't know. I didn't even look. It's just ink. All right, let's see what we got. Look at that. Basically no difference. You know what that means, right? We got a whole bunch more of this green. Let's go crazy. It'll get used eventually. Maybe we should have started with the green. All right, let's see what we got now. Get another Q-tip. And that's a bit more bluish than the regular racing green without anything in it. It's quite a nice color, actually. But how can we mess with this more? What other ink can we waste in this? I don't want to say the word waste. I am going to use this. Celadon Cat? A cat's meow? Why not? See if we can have some fun with this. How much did I add? I don't know. Move the cat out of the way. Get another Q-tip or two. And let's see where we are now. Oh, that is nice. Does it show up? It looks almost the same on camera. It's softer in real life, but we can do better. We can do better by adding more Celadon Cat to this. We're probably close to 3 milliliters of volume at this point, which is fine. My goal is hopefully to make a more pleasant green for use in this Majohn P136. Because the ink, look at that, I'm getting ink all over my stuff. Because the inks I have, they're all right in it, but I wasn't really feeling it. Let's see what we're going to do here. Did I shake this? I don't remember. Getting old. Old fart with inks. So back in the 80s, when this war on drugs started, there was an ad campaign where some guy walked up to a bunch of kids and said, "Hey kids, I got something you gotta try." And I think of that all the time when I see these syringes. I don't remember what the person was trying to get the kids hooked on in the ad, but I have to laugh because getting kids hooked on fountain pen ink is probably not a bad thing. The difference in this is so different. There's a bit better shading here, at least in person. But if we're honest, the differences between these last three samples are relatively minute. And I'm thinking what we really need is just a hair more of that green to lighten it a hair. And I would again remind you, I know absolutely nothing about color theory. I don't care about color theory. Why don't I care about color theory? Because, I don't know, maybe I'm just a degenerate. Who knows? Here we go. Paramore green. I'm assuming this will work just because it is the lightest of the three. Let's see what this does for us. Oh, that darkened us up. Look at how nice that is. I think I love that. Let's do some dipping. This is a Sailor Horatio? Whatever. It's got a fude nib that I don't know how to use properly yet, because I've not used it for anything. But a little heart on the nib, which means that it loves being used like this. Right? That's what that means. Let's do some dipping and see what happens. Hocoro? Oh. Sailor. I'm going to pretend it's Hocoro. Dip pen. Dip. Sour cream. And onion. There's also a cheese dip. What else do we have in the way of dips? I don't know. I can't think right now. It's been a stressful day. Cheese dip. Let's see what we... See, it's how I grip the pen that's wrong with this. See how nice that line variation is when you hold it properly? Which I do not do, but my hands are old and arthritic, so I don't care. I just wanted something that was easier to clean up. I couldn't care less what the nib was on this. I had thought maybe, well, you know, blah, 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 maybe there's a stub nib or something. And then I went to buy one, and I didn't bother looking because I actually didn't care what the nib looked like or wrote like. I was just looking to splash ink on a page in a rudimentary way, and whatever. Okay, let's talk about that fox, and let's actually cap this ink before I knock it over and make an even bigger mess unintentionally. If we're going to make a mess, do it with intent. Let's try to hold it properly. Pizza party. I'm getting ink all over myself. Pizza party. Beautiful sunset, because that's what Doodlebud does. It's that S. He's right. It's that S. I don't know. I still think everything should be a stub nib. A quick brown fox fucks your shit up. I'm sorry. I don't mean that. He F's your S up. Dog must be lazy. My dog would be barking like crazy at that fox. Well, anyway, we should give this a stupid name. So this is a combination of Wordsworth in black, racing green, Diamine, Celadon Cat, and Iroshizuku Kon-Peki. What can we call this? Grass is always racing greener over the Cat-Peki. The grass is always racing greener over the Cat-Peki. It reminds me a bit of Rona Jaffe and some of her writing, which I was introduced to at a fairly young age through, I believe, a film that was made of one of her books. I can't remember what it was, but she and Erma Bombeck had some real funny stories to tell, and Erma Bombeck wrote The Grass is Always Greener Over the Septic Tank, which was, I believe, made into a film. So I'll print up a little label that I will wrap around my little tube of my fancy green ink from my Majohn P136, and we will call it settled until, of course, I run out and have to try to recreate something similar, in which case I'll just make another video and make an even bigger mess. Alright, this is the Majohn P136 that the internet seems to like. I got it with a 1.1 millimeter stub nib, because every nib should be a stub nib. Okay, let's do some sampling. Some writing. And of course, the ink. The grass is always greener. Over the Cat-Peki. This is about approximately 2 parts Kon-Peki, oops, approximately 2 parts Missing green, approximately 1 part Celadon Cat, and by approximate, I mean truly approximate. Approximate means extremely loose estimate. The best kind of estimate. Hands are properly inked. That means we had a good time. Ink is being used. Pen is doing pen things. I think the green and the blue of this, or whatever color this pen is, looks nice together. And if you don't, that's okay. This is my mess. I get to enjoy it.